So today's message came to me pretty heavy. Based on that, I know that someone needs to hear this. But first, if you're new here, my name is Maya and I'm the Untamed Oracle. I deliver messages straight from the source who created us all. And my intention is to help you move through this life untamed, aligned, and aware. But before we dive in, I have a few things to say. First, my readings are timeless, so even though this message is aligned with the astrology of October 13th, 2025, if you find it later, that just means God timed it for you for now. And when I say God, that's just how I grew up speaking about the all-knowing, all-powerful energy that moves through everything. You might call it spirit, source, the universe. I honor whatever name speaks to your soul. Lastly, when I talk about masculine or feminine energy, that's not about gender. Regardless to what pronoun I use, it's always about frequency. This is how the divine polarity shows up through all of us. So now that we're clear on that, let's talk about what's going on in the sky today, because this energy today is pretty serious. Just to give an overview of what's going on, Pluto just turned direct in Aquarius, and Venus has moved into Libra. Then we have the moon that's in deep conversation with Mars in Scorpio. To break this down to you, what this means is that revelations, confrontations, sudden awakenings, every illusion you may have been clinging to, every relationship, job, or identity that's been sitting at a lower vibration is now being pushed into the light. This is not subtle energy by no means. This is God literally saying, I'm pulling the veil back. If you've been feeling uneasy or restless or maybe even emotional for no reason, this is why. There's a storm that's been brewing internally for you and it's ready to break open. For some of you, this is about finally realizing who you are and what you deserve, and it's shaking the ground under someone who never thought you'd wake up. This person, or in some cases, group of people, truly believed you keep accepting crumbs. They thought a breadcrumb here, a little attention there, would be enough to keep you around forever. But that version of you doesn't exist anymore. You walked away, you detached, you leveled up. You now realize that instead of the breadcrumbs that you've been accepting, you deserve a feast. And now they're standing in the silence wondering what they need to do to get you back. But the truth is they can't, because you're not where they left you. You've stepped into a completely new frequency, and the only way for them to reconnect with you is to rise. And for a lot of you, this means that what you're seeking now is equal partnership. And that can pertain to love. It can pertain to friendship. But what I'm seeing is that it just pertains to relationships as a whole, even the relationship that you have with yourself. Your desire now is whatever you put into a situation, you're expecting that same level in the result of what you get out. Even when this comes to the effort that you're putting into projects, work, any kind of visions that you have on your plate, you're putting in effort based off of what you're expecting to receive. And this is the frequency that you're working in and you're moving into, if you're not there already, when it comes to yourself as well as others around you. And the truth is that some people will not be able to match that frequency. Some people are so used to being able to give little and expect everything in return that they can't even understand why they have to give more to you now because you've accepted it for so long. This isn't a call to explain that to them because There's nothing that needs to be explained. The people that are ready to move with you into this frequency already understand the basics of this because they operate in this way as well. And so it's time to move. You may see different people falling off around you, different relationships ending. And that's simply because this new frequency that you've risen to, not everybody is built to breathe at that level. You've elevated to a height that not everyone can reach. And the only way for them to reconnect with you is to rise. But here's the truth, most won't. And it's not because they don't want to. It's because they lack the resilience, the discipline, and the spiritual maturity to grow at the level you're growing. They can't even conceptualize what's happening. They just feel the loss of your energy and think you're being cold. But no, that's not what it is. You're being called. And this is what spiritual separation feels like. It's the moment when God removes you from everything that can't survive where you're going. In these moments, you might feel conflicted, like part of you misses them and part of you pities them. But the truth is, compassion cannot become permission to regress. Pluto going direct opens your mental vault. You'll begin to see everything clearly, their patterns, your own old coping habits, the exact ways you used to settle. So don't gaslight yourself back into blindness. This clarity is divine mercy. Venus entering Libra is redefining your love energy. Right now, you're craving balanced partnerships built on mutual respect, reciprocity, and peace. But balance doesn't mean going back to people who will drain you. Some will test your boundaries again. Someone might resurface, but not because they've changed, only because they can feel your energy pulling away. So don't mistake missing you for transformation. Let them show growth through consistency, not promises. And for those of you meeting someone new, notice how they handle your walls. The right person will not bulldoze your boundaries. They'll sit patiently at the gate and earn your trust, brick by brick. In work and purpose, you're also being upgraded. Pluto direct means the power you've been cultivating internally is ready to manifest externally. So expect sudden clarity about where you belong or even where you don't. If you've been overgiving your time and talent for too little in return, the contrast will definitely hit hard now. You may even walk away from something that once felt safe, and that's not failure, that's evolution. So I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to work with this energy. The first one, you need to honor what's leaving. Not everything falling away is a loss. Some of it is an extraction. Before you can walk into a new thing and accept what's being given to you, there's a period of time where you need to create space. And in this energy, in this moment in time, God is creating that space for you. Secondly, ground yourself before reacting. With this energy, emotions will spike. Take some time to breathe before you burn bridges. Third, speak your truth. Throat chakras are activating right now. Do not let guilt silence you when God's asking you to stand up for yourself. Fourth, pray before you post. And this is for all of my social media people. Because right now the collective energy is impulsive. Protect your peace before performing it. Fifth, let God fight unseen battles. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. In this energy, you may feel the need to over-explain or to define the person that you are to someone else. There's no need to do it. If anyone puts you in a position where you feel like you have to prove who you are in order to be accepted by them, then they're not the person that you need to keep in your life. So there are a few things that you also need to watch out for during this time. Watch out for people resurfacing with "I miss you" energy, but no accountability. Watch out for old habits disguised as comfort. Try not to overthink your new peace because chaos used to feel familiar. Watch out for the need to rush results when the universe is still rearranging your path. So don't go back, but also don't shrink. And lastly, do not explain. This is separation season and it's sacred. So if you're feeling that tension, that emotional pull is not just you. The cosmos are mirroring the internal storm God's been calming in you for some time now. This is the point where you outgrow smallness. This is where you stop apologizing for shining. This is where your discernment gets loud and your silence becomes holy. If this message found you, it's because you've already made it to the other side. Let the ones still swimming choose for themselves. You stay tethered to faith. You stay anchored in truth. And remember, you didn't lose anything. They lost access. If this resonated, please like this message and comment "I'm rising." Also, make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss the next download. Until then, walk gently, speak truthfully, and always live untamed.